வெல்கம் டு அவர் சேனல் பி சிம்பிள். இதுவரை நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணாதவங்க சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. மறக்காம பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிற பெல் ஐக்கானை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க.
Unit 6. The Accidental Tourist. Prose. Based on your understanding of the lesson, answer the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences each. 1. Give a few instances of Briston's confused acts. Mistakenly, he placed the flyer program inside his carry-on bag. He was confused to take that out. In a plane, he tried to tie his shoelace and found himself pinned in the crash position. He kept the pen into his mouth and had the ink all over his face. 2. What were the contents of the bag? The contents of the bag were newspaper cuttings, loose papers, a 14-ounce tin of pipe tobacco, magazines, passport, English money and film. Describe the fluttery cascade of things tumbling from the bag. He was wonderstruck to see the well-arranged documents flying out of the bag. The coins bounced noisily and the tobacco tin rolled across the airport, spreading the contents all over the place. 4. Why did the author's concern over tobacco shift to his finger? The author was feeling sorry for spilling all the contents of the bag. Then he realized that he had a wound in his finger and it was bleeding profusely. So his concern shifted to his finger. 5. What happened to Briston when he leaned to tie his shoelace? When he leaned to tie his shoelace, unfortunately the one who occupied his front seat pulled his seat back and Briston was caught between the 2 seats. Then with the help of his neighbor he got released. 6. How did Briston free himself from the crash position? By clawing the leg of the man sitting next to him, Briston freed himself. 7. What was Briston's worst accident on a plane? Briston's worst accident on a plane was when he sucked the back of his pen. Then he realized that his pen had leaked and he got the ink on his mouth, chin, tongue, teeth and gums. 8. What did Briston wish to avoid in his life? Briston wished to avoid getting frequent flyer miles. 9. How would staying away from liquid mischief benefit Briston? If Briston stayed away from liquid mischief, he need not spend much on his laundry bills. 10. Why did the clerk say that Briston was not entitled to flyer miles? The ticket was in the name of B. Briston, but the card was in the name of W. Briston. So, the clerk said that Briston was not entitled to flyer miles. Answer the following questions in about 3 to 4 sentences each. 1. Why doesn't Briston seem to be able to do easily what others seem to? Give a few reasons. Briston had the problem of living in real world. He found it difficult to live with the surroundings which others could do easily. Because of this he had unnecessary confusion in dealing with ordinary things. 2. What was the reaction of Briston's wife to his antics? When Briston pulled the zip of his bag to open, it gave way and all the contents fell on the floor, They were only old paper cuttings and some magazines along with some important articles like passport. He was trying to collect all the articles which had been falling down. In her reaction, his wife said she could not believe that he did that for a living. 3. Briefly describe the accidents encountered on the flight by Briston. Once he was in a plane and he bent down to tie his shoelace. By the time one who sat in front pulled back his seat and he was caught in between the seats. He got relieved with the help of a man who was sitting next to him. Once he sucked the back of his pen. Then he realized that the pen leaked and he got the ink on his mouth, chin, tongue, teeth and gums. Paragraph. This is an amusing story about the frustrations of a globetrotter. The narrator describes his experience on a tour. He used to search for the lavatory and end on the wrong side of a self-locking door. He used to ask for his room number at the hotel. Once he was flying to England with his family. He had a frequent flyer's card which was in his bag. When he tried to open the bag, the zip got jammed. He struggled to open it. When it was forcibly done, the side of the bag suddenly flew up and all the contents of the bag flew into different places. He damaged his finger in the process. On another occasion, he leaned over in a flight to tie a shoelace, just when someone in the seat ahead sent his seat back into recline, and the narrator was caught in between. It was only by clawing the leg of a neighbor he managed to get himself relieved. On another occasion, he had a bad experience. He was writing his thoughts in a book, sucking his pen and talking to a lady by his side. When he retired to the lavatory, he found that the pen had leaked in his mouth, gums, teeth were filled with scrub-resistant blue ink. He used to close the car door with a part of his coat left outside. His family members would take extra care while traveling with him, giving him no occasion to do such things. But when he went alone, he would not drink, eat, or lean and never put anything in his mouth. He used to forget to ask the airlines for the air miles and lost the chance of getting discount. His card was rejected as it had a different initial on it. Simplified paragraph. Living in the real world was a big problem for Briston. He would easily forget the way to the lavatory in a cinema or forget his room number in a lodge. Briston was pinned in a crash position when he learned to tie his shoelace on a plane. Briston wished to avoid to close the car door, to eat ice cream and to rise from the dinner table suddenly. Staying away from liquid mischief, he would cut down on laundry bills.
தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் வாட்சிங். இந்த வீடியோவை பற்றின உங்களோட கருத்துக்களை கமெண்டில் சொல்லுங்கள். இதுவரை நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணாதவங்க மறக்காமல் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள், லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள்.